Welcome to Along the Rock. I am your host, Kaitlyn Blum. With me today, I have Michelle Schwarz and Danny Sward. We are here today to talk about the organization Paws for the Powerless. So can you guys tell me a little bit about your mission?
Yeah, so we started Paws for the Powerless in honor of my husband who died by suicide 2 years ago. We always knew that we wanted to start something in his honor, but I wanted it to be something very different than what you kind of normally do in someone's past. And so me and his best friend Danny had came up with the idea. He had a tattoo that said "Protect the Powerless" on his chest. So we kind of came up with combining training therapy dogs. So we came up with the name Paws for the Powerless. So what we do is train and provide free therapy dogs to those who need it, whether it be schools or colleges or any place, really, any business that is in need of a therapy dog, because obviously the training is very long and extensive, and they can be very expensive. So we wanted to provide that for people.
Wow, that's really powerful.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Can you tell us more about Blake and his legacy and how that inspired your mission?
Yeah, so we can probably kind of both speak on this. He was, always the person that lended a hand to other people. He was kind of the person people went to when they were struggling. And, ironically, he was the one that was struggling, but he was always kind of the listening ear for people. And he worked in law enforcement for 3 years at the Thompson prison. So we are very passionate about law enforcement, mental health, and mental health in general. So after his passing, we really wanted to dive more into mental health and obviously the issues that surround it and the stigma that goes with it. And Danny can kind of speak more on Blake as his best friend.
Yeah. Blake and I, we grew together very quickly while working at USB Thompson. Our relationship grew because we were both just very hardworking people. We just took our job very seriously, and that came with some negative consequences. When you take your job too seriously in law enforcement, it starts coming home with you. So we also started bonding over the fact that it's really hard out here. It's getting, some of these days were very, very rough working in the prison. And when I got word that Blake had passed, it was just like a light switch, right? Something just wasn't right about it. Blake was one of the greatest leaders I've met in my life. I've trained with people in the military from Germany over to Africa, British people, everywhere in the world. And Blake was one of the top leaders I've ever seen in my life. So hearing this, it just it took me back and made me really realize that it doesn't matter who you are and how well prepared you are. When you have mental health crisis, it can hurt.
Yeah, that's so true. Well, thank you for sharing that with us.
Absolutely.
So can you tell me more about the process of training these therapy dogs?
Yeah, that one's going to be on me first.
Yeah, you can speak to that one.
Yeah, Michelle's not the best at the training dogs. They're more pets for her. So I've been training dogs for about 3 years now. I usually do working dogs, so the Malinois, the German Shepherds, Dutch Shepherds, the crazy ones that kind of get a bad rap out there. So I wanted to start training dogs to become therapy dogs because at the end of the day, a man or woman in law enforcement, sometimes just going up to another person and trying to talk about things just doesn't work out. So you get a dog that isn't there to judge, isn't there to understand, isn't there trying to help you. It's just offering its comfort, right? So to train the dogs, we have to go, what we decided to do is we start them as early as they can start eating, right? I want this dog to be able to eat out of my hand, follow me around like a puppy. I want it to know that I am the best thing in the world. I'm the one that gives you food. I'm the one that gives you love. I'm the one that gives you a purpose. So we start from when they're the youngest of,
3 months.
3 months, and continue on until it's time to donate. So the training process right now is we are going through the Star Puppy program through the AKC.
Yeah.
He's actually in that class right now, and not to boast about my own skills with him, he probably is the top of his class right now, just throwing that out there. He's a really good boy. And then the next step is the AKC Good Canine Citizen, and that teaches them more about more atmospheric issues. So like people in wheelchairs, disabled people sometimes freak out a dog because they've never seen them before. Trains, cars, chains getting shaken around. So they definitely help getting this dog to be more bomb-proof, because the last thing you want is a therapy dog who goes into a room trying to help someone and all of a sudden they start losing it because they've never seen this kind of person or object before. So this is our steps into creating a bomb-proof therapy dog, so that way they can go out there and do whatever they need to do to help people.
That's so great.
Yeah.
So what kind of work would the therapy dogs be doing?
So they go around, they go into schools, and they go into, counselors use them too, right next to them. So if you have, a patient that they are counseling that's in therapy, they can use the dog, if they're getting upset, to emotionally regulate the person. They can go into, law enforcement agencies and help an officer who just had a traumatic situation that he had to deal with, and the dog can kind of calm them down. They're different than the service dogs that that the officers take with them. These are therapy dogs meant to calm you down, meant to kind of bring you back down to reality, emotionally regulate you, and with kids as well. And they can kind of pick up on kids that may have special needs and that need extra attention. They're just incredible at just kind of helping you come back down to reality when you're in a crisis, or just kind of giving you that comfort throughout the day that you may need.
That sounds amazing. That's definitely something that our community can benefit from.
For sure.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Okay. So do you have any special sponsors that are helping you make this dream possible?
Yeah, you can kind of speak to that.
Yeah, absolutely. So we started out with a group out of Boston, 22 Mohawks. I got in touch with them a couple years ago. Basically, they sent me to jump school because I'm a veteran, and they sent me down to Florida, and we jumped out of planes for a whole week down in Florida. It was a great time. They have a second program called Pups for Veterans, where they find whatever kind of dog this veteran is looking for, and they purchase it out of their own money, and then they donate it to that veteran. So I talked to them about my idea about taking that a next step into creating a therapy dog, and then they put down, what was it?
They put down money.
They put down money for our first therapy dog, Kevin.
Oh,
Yeah, and then we also grouped up with Mossbach Kennels out of Mount Carroll. He's actually where we got Kevin from, and he's been helping us along the way. He's been sharing all of our posts, and he gave us a little bit of a kickback on the purchase of Kevin.
Yes.
So, yeah.
And then you also have SSR Canine, which is Danny's personal dog training business. Yeah. So he's the one that obviously trains Kevin to be a therapy dog in the long run.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
So, yeah.
I'm sure some of our viewers are very inspired by hearing all of this, your mission, your story behind it. So if anybody's interested in supporting your mission, how can they go about doing that?
Right now, the biggest thing is, donating, starting up a business or starting up a nonprofit is obviously a lot in the beginning, and we're new to it. So honestly, liking, sharing our page, donating to help with Kevin's training and, all of his needs would be super beneficial, and just kind of getting the word out about us, is all that we can ask, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Alrighty, is there anything else you guys would like to add?
We just, our organization really hopes to bring more awareness to mental health and the stigma that surrounds it. It is truly a problem that is not going to go away until we continue to address it. And I think our biggest thing with this organization is someone that is, struggling, just having a dog walk in and give them a little bit of hope to continue on the next day is really what we strive for. And I hope that, our mission continues to grow, and that we can continue to help those with mental health issues, because obviously it's very near and dear to our heart.
Yeah, mental health is so important.
Yes, absolutely.
Well, thank you, Michelle and Danny. And then I want to say thank you to our production crew and to our viewers who listened in. If you want to hear more stories like this, please visit us at theradar.online.